Hi everybody, it's Jean, and I am here because I have been tagged by Malaya Moriarty for the Gluebook 2020 questions. Okay, there should be 2020 questions, but there aren't, so no worries, I won't be here forever. But these are some of the glue books that I've been working on recently. So, as you can see, they are hefty and they are fun. And I love doing glue books. So, I'm going to set those aside and I'm going to kind of show you this book a little bit. I need to make sure that it's in focus. There, that's probably the best I'm going to get. And so I will start. I have my list. First of all, how many glue books do I have? And I'm going to tell you something I don't know. I don't know. I have so many glue books. And I have so many journals, and I have so many journals that I thought were junk journals that are truly only glue books. So so it's hard to know because I've been doing this for 4 years and a lot of them are packed up. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many. So I'm going to say, unfortunately for my children, there are a ton of books and all kinds of journals and glue books. So I wish I could give you an answer to that, but I cannot. Which book is my favorite? Always the one I'm working in is my favorite. And this is the one that I'm working in right now. This is my last page. And you know that's so funny because I glued this tape down twice. And I even glued it with my tacky glue. And this does not want to, I'm going to give it one more shot because I particularly like that washi tape. But washi tape and I are, it's a love-hate relationship. I love washi tape. I love it, but it doesn't love me back. And a lot of times it doesn't, I don't buy the kind that sticks really well, which of course I love repositionable things, but you know, that's the issue. So that's question number 2, which book is my favorite, and basically the one that I'm working in. And this is my latest, and I thought I'd been working in it since January, probably a little bit before. I think this is the one I picked up after I was doing my Christmas book, but I have a Christmas book too, so. And a lot of them are more art journals, and a lot of them are more junk journals, and a lot of them are diaries. But this is a pure glue book. Well, not pure because I don't do a pure glue book. I tend to sneak in art journaling pages like this one now and again. So, favorite page. Well, I marked a few here that are some of my favorites. I love this one. I think this one was fun. I was astounded at how pretty the blue and purple blended for the background, and I liked this little picture. And I love books and I love coffee. So this one I just love when I go through and look at it. This one is fun. I don't know, I just love seeing this one. And this is a new one I just did, and it's so funny because I wanted to use her and I didn't like her face. I didn't like her expression. So then I cut out a picture and I put it on and I thought, I love that. And then I ran across that quote that had nothing to do with this or anything. And I think it all works together and I just love it. Sometimes the best moments are just outside your door. And it is true. So anyway, so I love those two pages together. This one is a fun one. I love it because it's just gluing. It's just slapping things down and gluing. There's a lot of elements. There's some napkins, magazine, some music, just all the little elements, things that I've cut out. I just all stuck them together, and it just seemed to me to work on this page. I just it's one of my favorites. And also in this one, Spring Clean Your Life. I put that together and I thought, oh, isn't that fun? I really like that. And I just, you know, because that's what I do spring cleaning and I do fall cleaning. And after I had it all put together, and weeks later when I was leafing through it, I saw that this was a cat from Tidy Cats. How appropriate. And that was a total happy accident. But because I just put the cat in there, I didn't even realize it said Tidy Cats and that it was going to go with my spring clean. So I like the happy accident pages really well. Those kind of things make me happy. Okay, next question. What magazines do I use? Or what magazines are my favorites? Probably, you know, I don't have a favorite because I like to get magazines that are off the wall. I pick them up in places where you aren't going to see a bunch of those. And I don't want to get a magazine. I don't like to use the magazines that everybody's using because I don't want to be using the same pictures. I want mine to be a little bit different. But then I went ahead and I ordered a bunch of magazines because I felt like I wasn't getting enough magazines, which is not true because I always have magazines and books. But I did. I ordered Harper's Bazaar. I ordered Oprah. I ordered Real Simple. I ordered a decor magazine. Anyway, I was getting them, an entertainment magazine. I was getting them regularly. They were like $2 for a year's subscription. But again, I love them. There's a lot in those. But I felt like I was basically choosing a lot of things. I see some of the things that I chose in other people's magazines. So I don't like to use the big name magazines. So I get magazines like quilting magazines and some oddball magazines like catalogs from, oops, that page is coming off. Catalogs from New Mexico, or when I go into a welcome station when I'm traveling, I love to get their state brochures and magazines about their state, what is there to see, because there's always a lot of interesting things in those. So that's the kind of magazines I get, something that's just really off the wall. And can I even pull one out for you right now? No, I can't even. I've just recently done a lot of harvesting, and so some of my magazines have been, but one of the top ones I do like is Harper's Bazaar. And I think one of the reasons, let me see if I've got that book out. Where is that book? Oh, here it is. Okay, good. I do have it handy. One of the reasons I like it is it's a big magazine. It has a lot of room. It's much bigger than the notebooks that I use here. And I'm trying to make the pages really, really simple. And what I do in these magazines is I take the pictures that I love, that I really don't want to cut up. I don't want to chop them up, and I make my own magazine. And so I think I think these are just really fun pages for me to leaf through. Sometimes they give me ideas. These are pages that I might want to draw from. You know, I might want to sketch that face. But mostly, and especially towards the end, it's pictures that are just big, that don't really have another home. And so that's another kind of a glue book. It's not really a collage glue book, but that's what I like. I love this. I just love this. And here's like 3 covers. Oops. Is that the first one? Well, there were some covers here. That was a cover, and well, it didn't that was not part of the group of covers that I had. But anyway, see how thin it is? It's because I'm just I tore out a lot of pages, and the ones that I didn't want to keep, I glued other pages over them. So I think that's kind of a fun book, and it is one of my favorites, and I don't work in it enough, but I have a whole stack of I'm not even hardly wanting to cut out of my Harper's Bazaar, because I want to save them for my favorite pages that are all, you know, one size. So these glue books here that I use, these are composition books that I use, and these are just pure play. Sometimes I get up in the middle of the night and I'm just gluing, and I take things that I've saved and I just pile them in here, and I don't worry about it, and they're just fun for me. They're fun for me to look back through. It's one of the questions is how do you store your images? Well, this is my newest attempt at storing images, and I just take strips, glue them on a page, and then I just add some pictures. I just add just a few pictures that are to me interesting, and I try to work out of this book, and I keep adding new pictures. So no, I'm not going to be using that for a little while yet, but I have a lot of pages that are empty, and I have a lot of pages that don't have too many in here. I find if I don't have too many images, I'm more likely to use them. If there's just too many, I don't want to go through them all. I'll flip around and just look at the ones on top. But this way I can see the ones in the back. I cut out a bunch of pizzas because for my daily journal, I wanted to put pizza pictures in on the days that I ordered pizza. So I have a bit, I try to cut out pizzas when I find them. But yeah, this has been the easiest, best one for me to use. These pictures, these are too big, really, to even fit in the book. Well, this one would, if I had this one would, and this one would. I've just cut these out, and I just haven't used them yet. I haven't put a strip in for them yet. But yeah, and I keep my book always upright, because the pages will fall out. I mean, the stuff will fall out if they're not upright. So you know, I have to be somewhat careful with this. But some of these are so fragile that I've cut out. But it's nice, because once they're in here, they're pretty safe. And it doesn't matter if things are bent, because when you glue it down, it's rare that you see the crease. But I have I've been very happy with this way of storing. Previous to this, and I still have them and I still use this, is my baskets, where I had tiny things in one basket, medium-sized things in another basket, large focal pieces in another basket, and just backgrounds in a fourth basket. But it was cumbersome. I was always going through it. And it just seemed like I was damaging. This one here, these are words. Let's see, did I have 5 baskets? This one has just mostly words and phrases. But it was very hard to find things in the baskets. And so I was always, I tend to have a picture in mind of something I've cut out that I want to use, and then I'll spend too much time trying to go through it. But I find them pretty easily in this book, because I'm pretty much aware of what's in here. Now my goal, and I started out pretty good, about keeping animals on one page, food on another page. Here's like Madonna's illustrations in those books that she publishes. I like those. Here's a page with just circles. And of course, I keep adding little things that aren't part of the page. So I'm not real good about storage, but that's kind of how I do. I have seen a lot of people have wonderful storage. I try not to keep too many images cut out ahead of time, but I love to fussy cut, and so like I say, the baskets will fill up really quick. They don't fill up quite so quick in the book, and first of all, I'm using them all the time, so I like that. Now I have pages like this that I thought I liked them. I kind of like that one. I love the John Wayne looking on the color, him in black and white. He's looking on the color. This is a very old John Wayne. But something about this page always, I don't know, it makes me, so I don't have any hesitancy about if I decide a page really doesn't work, or I don't like it anymore, or I don't like how I feel when I remember how I struggled to put it together. I don't hesitate to just cover it up. So, yeah. Back to my questions. Do you have plans to start a new book? And, the next question was, do you have themed books? Not in my glue book. Not really. The only theme I have is like I had the one where they were mostly the bigger pictures, and I don't really have, I have themed journals, but junk journals like I have an Asian journal, I have a like an antique journal, I have an Alice in Wonderland journal, I have themes in that way, but not so much for my glue books. No, my glue books are just to play, just to simply play in and throw everything in, and every page means something different to me. It's how I feel that day and what makes me happy. And look at all these stamps. I just I kept thinking I should peel those stamps off. None of them were ever canceled. I should peel those stamps off and use them, but no. But I liked how it looked when it came, and I just never wanted to do that. So no, I'm not much as far as themed books for I don't call it a glue book. I've been calling it a glue book now and again lately, it seems like, but I never called it a glue book, and I call mine my Chunky Junky. It's a very chunky book, and it's all just junk pictures, and it's just things that I like. And even sometimes I find that I'm cutting out things I don't really love, but I think they'd be cute in a book, like these little cookies. You know, I didn't see that picture and think, oh, I love that picture. I tried to originally just glue things that struck me that I hated to throw away. And that was really the inspiration for these. There were so many magazine pages. I didn't want to save the whole magazine for 6 or 7 pages that I loved, that just spoke to me. So if I take those pages out, but in harvesting those magazines, I have found more and more that I find little pieces of pages that I really like. So I'm picking out a lot more of, it's not so much that I just didn't want to throw that magazine out because it had this beautiful picture of a cardinal in it on a snowy white birch tree. It's the fact that now I might have maybe this picture here with the little birdhouses. I might have thought, I just, you know, I love seeing that, and I really don't want that. I don't want to throw that away when I don't have room for the magazine anymore. But I'm finding I'm tearing out a lot more pictures because I find bird pictures are really cute, and I do like them in the journals. So here we're going back into pages I've already flipped through. I like to do little things too. I don't just glue. I like to do little flips. And I thought that was a very cute ad. Yes, you pecan. And I just thought that was adorable. So, you know, I put it in my book. Remember playing with those? Those were always so fun. And a lot of times I go back and I add things. After I've had a page here and I've been happy with it for weeks and weeks or months, I'm looking at it and I think, you know, if there's room here, I'm just going to add something. That's why I've been staying in my books longer, because I keep adding stuff to the existing pages. So that's fun for me. Do I have plans to start a new book? Well, yes, I do. I am going to start a new book as soon as I fill this up so much that I can't hardly lift it. And I even have room still in this book to, I was leafing through it because I wanted to look and see what because when I pulled it out, I thought, oh, I haven't looked at this in a while, and I just loved it. But I found a lot of pages in here that I could add things to, or that I didn't have anything on. So, you see how that is. Now, this book is full. This book is full. Every page is full. And this book is definitely done. Okay. I just cannot get any more in it. And I love just having an elastic band to hold it together. I like the alligator look. And truthfully, by the time I'm done with it, even the spine is almost as big as the front. So that's why I kind of like these kind of books. Now, I am making a book. This won't be a junk journal, but I have found that the hardcover books, I don't really like being so wide open. So I'm making this right now, and what I'm going to do is I put these together. I left the front signature in and the back signature in, and then I have 2 other signatures I'm going to put in here, and then I'm going to put it together. On this side here, I'm going to do some decoupage, the whole cover, so that you don't see all that. But this is a real strong Metaspore tape. Is for bandages, but it's really, really strong, and you can't hardly tear it. You have to cut it. So I thought that might work And then when you collage over it, I mean, it's going to be in there solid. So this was a very thin spine book. Very, very thin. You see how little those signatures are. There's only 2 other ones that thin. So it was a really tiny book. So I've made it into a thicker book. And that way, when I finish it, I'm hoping that it will sit on the shelf like this and not the alligator look. So I'm experimenting around. I don't know if I will like that or not, because I don't really normally mind the alligator look. This book here, I love that snarky lady. Good morning, sunshine. Sometimes I feel like that. I like this. I put all kinds of things in it. I don't just put images. There's just such fun pages. Just such fun pages. And I had so much fun looking at this because I hadn't looked at it in such a long time. But I have lots of room to keep going with this. So between these 2 books, it's going to be a while before I start a new one. This is probably all way more than you wanted to know. Okay, let's see. Where do you get your magazines? Like I say, I ordered them online, and there's places you can get them. They're $2 a year for magazines, and there's no obligation. You don't have to buy an issue or a full subscription to anything. So that was really great. But like I say, they are your very popular magazines, and they have wonderful images in them. And so I was very happy for a long time with that, the subscription. But mostly I get them from the bins. People throw away magazines. They throw away the oddball, crazy magazine that you've never ever seen before in your life. And they have crazy, wonderful illustrations in them. So also some of the ones that I've picked up there are these quilting magazines. And it's not so much that some of the quilts are just beautiful, but there was so much color and fabric and all kinds of beautiful, beautiful illustrations. I just love those. But I like anything that's oddball. My magazine that I get now that I was given as a gift for Christmas is Our State magazine from North Carolina. And I love it. It has great images because it's a small publication, mostly just to people who are interested in the state of North Carolina. So I'm not going to see that across the board in everybody's glue books. I'm going to have unique images for my books. So I like that. And that I get regularly, and every time I look through it, it's just full of stuff. And then I know I go and I do go through the books. I go through the magazine the first time and I pull out everything I want. Then I wait a few days and then I go through the magazine again and I pull out more. And then I used to throw them away. But now I have found that even the 3rd and the 4th time going through a magazine, I'm finding phrases that I missed. I find a lot of those things, and little things that are in the corner that I really hadn't noticed because I'm focusing on the big things. So I will tend to go through those quite a few different times. So I get them. I've picked up magazines at the library. I've picked up magazines at flea markets, at welcome centers. When you're driving, I'm telling you, anytime you drive or go anywhere, go to their free brochures and their free stuff, because there's always magazines there. Now you have to be careful because some of the magazines are very poor quality. So there are always wonderful magazines with very high quality images there in those racks if you just look for them. So you and especially about when they feature the feature part of the state, like artists and that kind of thing. It's you can get some just wonderful things, because a lot of times, you know, they like to feature things that you can buy or places you can visit, and they're usually very scenic or very interesting items. Let's see. So I get my magazines there. I get them in the bins in the thrift stores. People give me magazines. The lady at the beauty shop, she wants me to haul off all of her oddball magazines. You know, people take all the good ones, but she has a bunch of oddball ones that she gets subscriptions to that she doesn't even ask for, and so I haul those off, and I usually go through those too. The library is a good place. If you don't see magazines out just free for the picking, you can ask them. Sometimes they sell them for $1 a piece. Ask the librarian at the desk, do they have magazines that that they give away or they sell for an inexpensive price? And she'll tell you. Don't just say, oh, I never see any at my library. Well, you know, you have to ask sometimes. Thrift stores. Thrift stores, some of them have an area where they keep magazines. Most thrift stores just throw out magazines. They don't even want them unless they're vintage magazines. And I like vintage magazines, but I kind of like contemporary magazines more at this point in my life. So let's see, besides glue and scissors, what else would you what else do you use? Well, like I showed you in that other book, I'll use fabric. Oh, here's, I just passed something. I used that. I thought that was very pretty. And I've used this particular stuff on not ATC cards, but journal cards. And I like dangles. I like sparkle. I like anything that has like a shiny. I'm a shiny person. I love color, and so yeah, I like that. I don't hesitate at all to put that in. I don't do it a lot, but I don't hesitate to put that in the glue book. So I paint in mine, and I put bling. You know, like the little bit of bling here and there. I think I've, not very often. Here's some bling, and some, funny how I opened right to that, but it's almost the last page. A little bit of lace, because there's lace in the picture, so I added a little bit of lace there. This is like a metal button, and it was rounded. So I took something, I took my rock. I keep this rock because a lot of times things like this are hard to or you know, something's hard to kind of glue down, so I put a rock over it. But anyway, I took my rock and I pounded that to be as flat as can be, which didn't work. It didn't make it really flat. It was a little bit flatter, but not not a lot. But anyway, so yeah, I put in anything I want to in here. Here's a button, and here's a button on a tag. Let me see that tag. Yeah. You know, you, especially with these particular books, it all works together. It just doesn't make it too much different than the regular pages. Let's see, what's this? Oh, this is a card someone sent me, and I put that in, and it's got that clunky rose that comes up like that, but it doesn't hurt the book. It doesn't hurt anything, and I like it when I come look at it. And I use a lot of stickers, and I especially like the stickers that I don't use anywhere else. Not dimensional stickers, but what would you call that? Puffy stickers, kind of. You know, the thicker ones. Favorite glue. Okay, what else? Okay. What advice would you give a newbie? My advice to a newbie is just start. Don't think about it. Just glue. Just get yourself a pair of scissors. Get yourself a glue stick. This is my favorite glue stick. I think that was one of the questions somewhere that I missed. I use glue sticks and I use tacky glue. And I also use two-sided tape, double-sided tape. The kind that you peel off is a lot stickier than the kind that you tear off like regular Scotch tape. But this is my favorite glue stick. It's an Avery. When everybody was buying toilet paper at the beginning of the pandemic, not me, I was ordering glue sticks. I ordered 6 or 8 of these boxes of 6 glue sticks. Of course, I didn't know the pandemic was going to last as long as it did, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't run out of glue sticks. So that's what I bought. Instead of toilet paper, I bought glue sticks, because that's important to me. But for a newbie, don't think about it. Just start gluing. Just start gluing. And you don't have to stay right there until the page is complete. Just start gluing things down that you like. Just wherever you like it, just start gluing. You can fill in these pages later. This Become a Cash Cow is so funny. When I was getting ready for this and I was flipping through the books I hadn't looked at in a while, I've used that illustration before. I have. So here I'm even duplicating myself. I'm not wanting to duplicate others, but I'm even duplicating myself. But yeah, you have to get past the ugly stage. You have to get past it, and who cares if it never gets pretty? You can just start over again. Just glue everything over it. You don't have to keep the page if you hate it. But just start. Just get yourself a pair of scissors, a glue stick, and you don't even have to buy a composition book. You probably have a magazine at your house. You probably have, one that you're ready to throw away. Glue over the magazine. Oh, you know what? College catalogs usually have really nice paper. So a lot of times you get stuff in the mail that has just wonderful paper in it. Sometimes medical things that they send you monthly might have 5 or 6 or 7 pages. Just start covering those pages with your favorite images, and just start gluing. Here's a color book. I just played in a color book, and I thought, oh, I'll just put that on a page. Here's another color book one. Yeah, you just do whatever you want to. You can add pockets. You can add, fun things in there. Here's a little tag. Gosh, I forgot I had that tag. Oh, and I like this tag. I remember this tag. I should probably not hide that in that pocket. I should probably take these things out and use them somewhere else, just to be more seen. But I like to, when I open a pocket, I like to find pretty things in the pockets. So yeah. So that's all I'm saying. I don't care who you are, how artistic you are. I know that when you leaf through magazines, there are things that jump out at you and you think, ooh, that's pretty, or ooh, I like that color, or isn't that an interesting thing, and you kind of hate to throw away the magazine because you hate to throw away that image. So tear those out and glue them in a book. Just start. Just start. You'll develop your own style. I'm supposed to challenge someone. I don't know who to challenge. So many of you do such wonderful glue books, and I don't know. I'm gonna challenge Laura at the Jersey Crafter. She does a lot of things other than glue books, but I'm going to challenge her to tell us about. I'd like to know what she does, but I will also like to challenge any of you to get on here and talk about your glue books and tell us where you find your things, and tell us what your favorite pages are, and tell us a little bit about your experience doing glue books, because I'm fascinated by them, and I want to see. Okay? Thanks a lot for listening, guys. Bye-bye.